In a major consequences, US President Donald Trump's latest tariff barrage imposing up to 40% duties on transshipped goods and new levies across Southeast Asia has inevitably positioned China, its competitor in trade and influence, as a more attractive manufacturing hub. Trump's tariffs aimed at curbing Chinese trade dominance by targeting goods rerouted through countries like Vietnam, Cambodia, Indonesia, and India have the potential to or have already disrupted global supply chains. Manufacturers and exporters grappling with steeper costs in alternative hubs are now rethinking the shift away from China, where production has remained cheaper, smoother, and more reliable. These companies under the China Plus One business strategy had diversified their operations beyond China since Trump came to power in 2017. Trump, who set to make America great again, might have ended up making America's competitor and rival greater. Apparently, it was China whose manufacturing muscle was perceived as a threat to the US, but with Trump imposing up to 40% duties on transshipped goods and new levies across Southeast Asia, he may be inevitably driving businesses back to the very rival he sought to target. The Trump regime US trade policy, including a 40% tariff on transshipped goods, products minimally processed in third countries to evade US tariffs on Chinese imports, was part of a broader strategy to address the $1.2 trillion American trade deficit by limiting China's role in global supply chains. Ever since Trump began aiming his tariff bazooka on goods from China in the first term, companies manufacturing in China, including Chinese manufacturers, have flocked to Southeast Asia, Mexico, and India to set up warehouses and factories in order to bypass the US punitive measure. Now, however, Trump's steep tariffs on all these nations, including China, have raised costs for manufacturers in Asia, including India. Chinese firms had earlier invented billions to bypass these tariffs. With that, Trump is making China cheaper again.